Hey everybody, it's Bust, continuing our playthrough of the Path of Champions. Today, we're going to be taking on the one-star quest, the Might of Demacia. We'll be taking our Ornn up against Garen. So before we jump in, let's take a quick peek at our Ornn. He is at 0 star powers, so we have nothing in the boost of the stars. The champion level is up to 6. We've completed 1 or 2 adventures, so he's gotten a couple of upgrades. And then for the relic, we are using the Heal Your Nexus 5. My idea with Ornn is that he has enough value. Given that he's an expensive champion and we're generating all of the equipment, we just need to look for early game units and we need to look for interactivity. Now, sometimes that doesn't come together exactly how you want. You take a bit of chip damage, and so I like to start with the Star Child's staff just to give us a little bit of buffer while our deck comes online. And so, that is our Ornn. That's who we'll be doing battle with today. Let's go ahead and jump on into the adventure. Not Galio. We'll get to you soon enough, Galio. Today, we're battling your friend Garen. As I pour a bunch of Red Bull on my face, let's go. It's always challenging to get that last drop. All right, so here we go. Let's find something early and useful. Nothing like that turns up, but Crush is a fantastic power, giving all of our units Overwhelm. Let us end these games a little bit faster. We have a lot of stats, but we need ways to punch in the damage, and so Overwhelm is quite useful in that sense. Okay, up against the old Stony Suppressor. I'm ready for battle. So, got reasonable enough curve with the Weaponsmith. Let's just get rid of the Apprentice. Let's just get rid of the Weaponsmith as well. And see if we can't find a 2-drop to throw down early. We didn't. Life can be tough. This, we got this 1/1 Overwhelmer. No blocks, dude. I'll overwhelm. Alright, she's gonna get forged up though. She's definitely ready to bring the overwhelms now. From the graveyard. Poor thing. Okay, so big ol' swings coming in. The overwhelm power looks pretty decent now, right? Once we slap all these large units on the board and we need ways to punch in damage. That's a problem you run into a lot in Constructed, and a problem we run into here is just figuring out a way to actually get the damage in. And you know, that question has been answered now. We have the overwhelmed so that we can slam it in. Typically, you're running into problems with these units, right? If we just have a 7/6 and a 5/4 and our opponent blocks with 2 small bros, we don't actually get to deal any damage, but this overwhelm really bringing it now. Nothing better than really bringing it. GG, my dude. Okay, so Mystic Shot is some of the interactivity we're looking for. It's okay as we're down here in the earlier star powers. Like if we're up against Galio, I wouldn't be like, oh man, give me Mystic Shot, because it just doesn't do enough. It doesn't interact well enough or strong enough for us to be super interested in it. But I think it'll be okay here. We tend to be fighting against smaller units at this stage of the thing, and so having access to Mystic Shot and a bit of interactivity is pretty reasonably strong. But as we look for champions, that's all we're going to want, right? We want interactivity, and we want cheap cards. And we get the cheap cards out of Victor. Having access to the augments is kind of interesting as we're generating weapons, and then the weapons will boost up augment. But I don't feel like that's relevant enough. I think we can ignore those. The Rainbow Fish pile is interesting, but we have that overwhelm, right? We don't need ways to run around our opponent's units. We can just crush through them with overwhelm. And we don't need this slow stuff from Yasuo. So we're going to reroll all of these. Anything better now? I could get behind Ari or Quinn. One or the other. I think I'm going to go with Quinn. She is a little bit more mid-rangey than I would like. But the scout units are all extremely powerful once you put a weapon on them. And so I think she'll be a reasonable choice here. What are these? Scribe of Sorrows? I forgot what he does. Let me pull him up on the site real quick. Just run over to the old ftpbust.com, up in the utilities and the events. Let's see what the scribe says. What do you got? Buy any number of powers, they double each time. Well, I mean, buying powers is good. If we're going to go to the shop, we're just going to buy powers anyways. So let's head towards the exclamation point. So up against Omenhawk, round start. Grant the top unit in the foe's deck +1/+0. Got it, bird. Some people would say that's the word. Ama umau mau. All right, into battle. All right, I can definitely see an argument for not playing the Apprentice here. It's like if we're going to come in with the Favored Artisan on the next turn, then we would have the mana banked up to play the Forge. But I think getting units down is fine. If he actually plays Omenhawks against us, we can just trade and be happy enough for the turn. I'm going to go for a big bone club. Just make one big super unit. So that should be up to +6/+6. We'll go ahead and drop this other forge. With the bone clubs attaching Challenger, everything's looking pretty good for these combats. So nice and strong. See, we can showcase a bit of this, right? This is why I picked up Quen. Let's just go ahead and prevent the damage. It's, you know, as we have these scouts on the board, we come and put a bone claw onto them, or a bone club, and then you get to use those stats twice, right? The just kind of the basic idea being, if you're making a standard attack, you're only going to get to use this +4/+4 one time, but since we put it on a scout unit, we get to use the +4/+4 again in this attack. So it's a nice little bit of value. Come in and crush them.
We're safe for now.
We're safe for now. Okay, so do we want any of this? Free loyal badger bears are, you know, quite nice. I'm surprised to see Origami Slicer being a viable card, since it doesn't do anything in like 90% of the decks, but interesting to see it turn up. But the badger bear coming down for free is going to be exceptionally good. So the Scribe of Sorrows, right? You can buy any number of these powers. The cost will double each time. These first ones are all pretty garbagey, not gonna lie, but we'll start with the mana gem. Oh, it doesn't change, it's just these. Okay. Well, I'll take all those extra mana gems at the beginning. That should give us a nice little boost in the early game. I'm typically not excited about the ramp, but if we're gonna play a Weirding Stones on the first turn, then that's a nice bit of boost in the early game. So, the Wolf Rider. Round end, if the foe dealt damage to the player's nexus, you deal 1 to their weakest unit. Got it, bro. That's not very nice. They'll be shooting down our 1/1s. Okay, not a particularly strong hand. We'll hang on to the Badger Bear because it is quite strong, but want some more early stuff. Get those free manas, drop the Badger Bear, drop the Weirding Stones. That's the kind of turn one I'm talking about. Oh, shouldn't be attacking with the Weirding Stones, but, you know, it probably gets lonely sometimes, you know. It doesn't get to be as combat effective as it would like, so it can bring a little bit of joy to his day. But why not do it? But I want to get the Grizzled Ranger down now. This is going to be, again, a fantastic target to put an equipment on. scout units getting to attack twice is the real deal.
There's a scent in the air.
Rip Badger Bear. What? Wait. It's like, are we also just going to rip our opponent? I thought we were going to be in a lethal there. Going to be 1 damage short. If he didn't kill our Badger Bear, we could have ended the game right there, but 1 more round it is.
Not even I know what I'm cooking up. Ready to go round.
All right, this game pretty much done. We can just go ahead and play Ornn if we want. He's not going to do anything, but you know, why not say that we played our champion at least once in the event? And lethal. You got to visit the board, Ornn. I mean, that's that's more than you typically get to do in your games. Poor guy. It's tough being a 7-cost champion, man. It's tough. I wish there was a way to make them more relevant, but I don't have the answer to that one. So, in terms of these units, I kind of like the Tavern Keeper, just to have a little bit of heal. I kind of like the Vanguard Defender, because these 2/2 challengers are kind of nice for the early game. And I think I'm just leaning towards the Defender. As long as we have some early game plays, we should be good. And then the interactivity there is quite strong as well. Now, we have the choice between an item chest and a shop. We just spent a big bunch of money, so I'm going to pass on the shop and just head to the item chest. Not excited about any of these. The Combat Cook is just slow, and all of our units already have Overwhelm. The Mystic Shots we have enough of. The Bone Club with +1/+1 isn't terrible. I don't really want extra copies of it either. Let's just reroll, see if we find something cheap. Here we go. These Badger Bears are what it's all about. With the support. A little bit of extra strength. I like it. Now let's cut a card. I like to cut the ramp out. We'll remove the Catalyst of the Aeons. Now, I typically look to remove the Weirding Stones, but since we have those 2 mana gem things in the first turns of the game and we want to play the Weirding Stones on the first turn, I think I'm okay with keeping it. And so I'm actually just going to swap to cutting out Catalyst of the Aeons. It's just going to be a heal 3 for the most part for the remainder of the run, I think. So, on to Ash. If the foe has the attack token, Frostbite the player's weakest unit. Scary stuff, dude. Maybe he'll Frostbite our Weirding Stones. Alright, so same deal. We'll hang on to the Badger Bears, look for some other cheap plays. We did mulligan away, what's his name? The 2/2 tough challenger, but I think it's okay. Look at these starts, man. This feels so good. Get them all down. Emote. Ah, we don't even have attack token? Dumb. I was getting so excited about that turn. just throw our units in the middle. He's back. All right. Ready to challenge. There you go. That +1/+1. Doing a world of good. Ash, you're getting fucking boomed.
Come on in.
Kindle picked me. That's why I Smith.
Should not have played that unit. It's not going to do anything, and now when we go to play Quinn, we're not going to get the bird.
Demacia needs.
But I was getting excited. What can I do? I'm not immune to getting excited about the game.
Lead the target.
All right. Rip Ash. Oh, hang on. Don't want to miss out on all these great supports. There we are. Right, we should be good. I don't feel like Ash is going to come back from this one. You just put way too much stuff on the board in the early game.
One arrow. Let me see that. Show me a target.
Uh-oh.
I'll lead us to victory.
Uh-oh, she's flipping. We'll heal all this damage back once this is over. I'm not worried about that little bit of damage coming in. I do keep forgetting about this support, though. All right. Goodbye, Ash. We had fun. We had a nice set of battles, but you didn't bring enough at the end of the day. So what do we got here? We're taking more Quins. Well, man, if there is a way to ever make your Ornn relevant, it is to giving -2 costs. But I mean, like at the end of the day, I would rather just play a 3-cost Quinn than a 5-cost Ornn. So let's go ahead and give her the Nomad's Medallion. Now we can set up these turn 1s to where we play like 2 or 3 Badger Bears and then play a Quinn. Just have this really great high-powered start. Okay, so these not super interested in. Out the gates is okay. We have decent enough 2-drops in our deck to make this worthwhile, but we don't have the targets for Share the Bounty, and we already have Challenger coming out of our Bone Clubs. So I think that can go. Here we either have an item chest or a gold chest. I never like taking gold chests, so we'll go to the right, battle at the Proving Grounds, and then take our epic chest. Gimme the loot, gimme the loot. I'm a bad bitch. Get a little Notorious B.I.G. into your day. All right, good start. I can't imagine these 1-star opponents having the ability to stop us when we're coming out so high-powered.
Still hearts, steady aim. My first star.
Oh, we can survive this one, though. I thought we were just going to have to use our bird. But we can support the defender into a 3-3, give him Challenger, or give him Tough. Survive that combat. Throw out an emote. It's fucking done. you just got boomed. Alright, Quinn, let's get him. It's not very becoming of a gentleman there, shooting our birds. Still be enough to take it down. We'll rebird this and call it a day. Quinn flip. Nice. That's right, Valor. Get in there. Kill this dum-dum. Oh my god, why this... Oh, that's Quinn. Is that... That looks like the wrong art. To see Valor popping up like that, it looks like the wrong art. Maybe I got used to having... Maybe I don't play with Quinn skins. The only Quinn skin is Arcade, and I don't like it. So, we got to check our loadout. We'll check it out after the game. We want any of this? The Grizzled Rangers are fine. 1-cost Blinding Assaults are okay, but let's just take the stronger scout unit onto the item chest. You play a spell, reduce my cost by 1. Man, I'm going to take these double mana gem weirding stones. That's a pretty cool one. Alright, so moving on, hit a shop, the power, refill spell mana, that's fantastic, gonna take it. These other cards, are we interested in any of this? The group shot to draw a champion is kind of interesting, especially now that we're starting with a bunch of mana. I think I'm gonna pick that one up. I don't think we need any of these other ones. Group shot, draw a champion, I like it. I like it, I like it. Buy a power sorcery. Okay, so now we got champion item chests. I definitely want to load up more Quins. Let me check. There we go. I don't remember even buying the Star Guardian Quinn. Did this came from the... Okay, I'm getting her confused with Kaisa. The Star Guardian Quinn came from the event pass. The Kaisa is the $20 skin, I think. Got it. So, up against the Kindly Tavern Keeper, round in, the foe's units heal 1. Gotcha. Okay, so we'll hold on to the Quinn, hold on to the Weirding Stones. We want to find our Badger Bears if we can. There's one. This is such a non-bow, isn't it? That we've got both the Weirding Stones and the Quinn that we want to play on the first turn. I think we lead out with the Weirding Stones. Just given that it gives us that extra mana for the next turn. Maybe we should have waited for that to just drop a group shot, but... I don't feel like it's going to matter too much here. We are rolling through these games. All right, swing number 1. Valor's out here doing their thing. You don't even have an attack, do you, bro? You don't have any more units? There you go. I'm getting damage in with our Weirding Stones. That's a big FU, right? So here comes the Weirding Stones, bringing in the big damages.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
That's far enough.
Okay. I think we're good now. Let's mess some folks up. All right. Give me that Quinn bird.
Steady aim.
That's how you boom them.
No one escapes my aim.
Same animation, right? Different skin. This is the one I'm used to seeing when we play Constructed. That's getting a little bamboozled by the Valor showing up so close to the front.
We're safe. For now.
We're safe for now. Okay, so might as well pick up more Vanguard Defenders, right? That's our unit coming down for free on the first turn of the game. So don't mind that. Onto the champion chest. Let's take a +2/+2. That works fantastically with our Overwhelm. And the last set of cards, I'm leaning towards just taking out this Combat Cook. He's pretty expensive. I don't think he's going to be particularly relevant here. All right. On to Garen. Let's see, that's a very expensive hand. No Badger Bears in there, no Quins, no Weirding Stones. Can't have stuff like that happen.
We Demacians are no easy prey. I'll write my own story. Scouting ahead.
I had to. I know we were doing a lot of like overwhelm challenging in the previous one. I had to stop and see where our support was coming from. We could have played this like a little less aggressively, right? We could have waited on the first attack and then hooked in with the Vanguard Defender, but I don't know. I just feel like these are so over that does it really matter? There's a great use of all that spell mana. Now you're about to get smoked, Garen. About to get smoked. Easiest game 2022. Rip it and roll it. Call it a day. You want an emote? I'll bring an emote. Echo says what up. GG. So yeah, not a bad set of games. I thought that was interesting. We got to showcase something a little different from what we usually do with Ornn, and bringing out the scouts and using the equipment with the scouts. It's a nice pivot to a strong strategy. But again, as you're battling with Ornn, the big questions you're going to be asking yourselves are, how do I get early game stuff on the board, and how do I interact with our opponent? And so at least in terms of this trial, to get stuff on board early, we had those 2 powers that give us the mana gems, and we could use that in conjunction with our free Badger Bears. And then for our interactivity, we had the various challengers, whether or not that was the 2-cost infantry, whatever his name is, the Vanguard Defender, or if it was our Quinn Birds. We had a few ways to come in and hook our opponent into combat. So we weren't just like putting stats on the board and saying, hey, is our stats enough today? I certainly hope that they are. And so, not a bad run. I had fun with it. I hope you had fun with it too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so, hope everyone enjoyed the video. Maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.